Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep, keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, Georgia Congresswoman, Republican Majorie Taylor Greene is rebranding herself. She's it's weird to say it, she's becoming more apologetic. She's realizing that she has done some things in the past that has been a a hindrance on society, has been a distraction. She is calling out her party like I've never seen before, which is interesting. She is calling out the person that she had supported for the longest, that she had, took heat for too many times. I'm talking about Donald J. Trump. There's a feud between Donald Trump and Majorie Taylor Greene. She's calling out the current House Speaker, Mike Johnson. As I mentioned, she's calling out her own party. It is interesting. I'm seeing her more on left-leaning media. I can't make this stuff up. Majorie Taylor Greene is rebranding herself and having a change of heart. Still creeps me out, I'm not gonna lie. In addition to that, imagine listening to a song that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go in concert and watch this person perform this song live. Yet you find out that this song was created by AI. The artist is not even real. Yeah, we're going to talk about it later on the show. In addition to that, my girl, Megyn Kelly. Megyn. Let me tell you something. Megyn continues to, she doesn't disappoint. I'll tell you that much. She does not disappoint. She has come out publicly, literally saying, well, there's a difference between 15-year-olds and 8-year-olds when it comes to these predator cases, right? There is a difference. What? It gets worse and worse for her. And you would think for somebody that has grown a career very largely in the world of talk radio, call-in radio, right? She's built a successful career with SiriusXM. It was announced that she would be having her own channel. Okay. So it's like, where's the world coming? Where's the world coming to? Because we have this back and forth with the whole Epstein files and lists, and y'all can read up on it. We'll talk about it a little later on in the program. In addition to that, what else we got going on for you? We have simply just I want to talk with you all on the two-party system. I want to talk about the shift that's going on, that we're witnessing in front of our eyes. The shift that's happening in the Democratic Party, the shift that's happening in the Republican Party. Can the progressive left win over the majority of Democratic voters? Can they reel in independent voters? Can they reel in Republican voters that are simply just not satisfied with their current elected officials? Or, moving on to the right, is the MAGA right falling in front of our very eyes? It's interesting. It's interesting. We're going to talk about it here on the Arrington Gavin Show. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to tune in to yet another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. For those who happen to be watching us on YouTube, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with family. I truly appreciate it. We want to continue to grow that momentum, grow the subscribers and viewerships. We want to continue to spread the message across, spread that narrative of great conversation regardless of party lines, as well as simply just have a conversation, keep you posted what's happening in our world, whether if it's in the world of pop culture, whether if it's in the world of sports, entertainment, the whole 9 yards. We're here to keep you all informed, keep you up to speed on what's happening across our digital airwaves, as a digital space, as well as just talked about conversations and topics. So I truly appreciate if you can, again, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Other ways you can watch the Arrington Gavin Show is simply by checking us out on Goatverse TV. That's right, Goatverse TV. If you have not streamed the channel yet, what are you waiting for? You can download it on the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. You can check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show. In addition to that, you can also listen to the show on the go. We're available on all major podcast platforms. Wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. And then we're going to move it on to the radio airwaves, because guess what? You can also listen to us in your cars. Shout out to our family out in the New Orleans area by way of WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. You can also tune in. Oh, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, that's only on WBOK 1230 AM, what New Orleans is talking about. And then we're going to head over to the Houston area to Afro Vibes Radio. You can check out the Arrington Gavin Show now on a new day, same time but new day. We previously were on there Saturdays at 12 p.m. Central Time, but we moved to the weekday. You can check us out on Mondays at 12 p.m. Central Time, and that's on Afro Vibes Radio. Then, lastly, you can head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. You can check the Arrington Gavin Show out weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, that's only on WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk. All right, now that I got that spill going, y'all, we haven't done this segment in a minute. Black Excellence Report. That's right. I want to share with you all this Black Excellence Report. This came across my feed, and I'm like, oh, I gotta talk about it, because on this Black Excellence Report, we love to shine a light on folks that are doing great things, and not just in the community in general, but in the Black community, right? We love to share with you all wonderful stories, Black stories. And this is one I thought was truly remarkable that I would love to share with you all. So once wrongfully imprisoned for nearly 30 years, Mr. Calvin Duncan wins New Orleans clerk of court race. Just kind of backtrack. Calvin Duncan, who spent nearly 30 years in prison for a crime he did not commit, has recently won the race for Orleans Parish Criminal District Clerk of Court. All right, now just so I can kind of backtrack on the clerk of court position, because this kind of ties into our segment where we share what's the role and why is it important. We talked about the clerk of court. Give me a second so in local government, you have the different branches, and in law enforcement, or just in law in general, you have a position called clerk of courts, which manages legal documents, marriage licenses, as well as public records. His victory comes after a campaign focused on transparency and public access to records. Transparency. Wow, I cannot say that word. It's important to have transparency, not just in this position, but all across the board. Public access to records inspired by his own struggle to obtain documents that helped prove his innocence. This is what I call, y'all, not just a huge come up story, but Black excellence at its finest, because this man, who was wrongfully convicted, said, you know what? I'm not the only one. There's more stories like that, that what happened to myself. There's more stories that has happened, and how can we stop? What can I do to help stop that? He said, I'm going to take matters to my own hands. I want to run for that position, clerk of court, so we wouldn't have these issues at all. Again, once known as a jailhouse lawyer, later earned a law degree and worked to help incarcerated people navigate the legal system. He went on to defeat incumbent Darren Labard with a strong margin, and plans to modernize the clerk's office, improve record access, and make the system easier for the public to navigate. His term begins in May of 2026. I want to personally congratulate Mr. Duncan on a historic win for him, and I think this is just again an inspiring story that we all should. I hope they make it into a movie. To be honest, because this is a wonderful success story. This is a big success story that I think a lot of folks don't hear too much about. So I hope to have him on the show sometime very soon, just to share his story that can be inspiring to others. And again, we have to. This is why it's so important when it comes to criminal reform too, because there's so many folks that are locked up for, you know, in my opinion, petty crimes, but that's serving a long term, and it should not have to be that case. So again, this is our Black Excellence Report here. Let me go ahead and transition over to what is the role and why is it important. So we kind of recapped that clerk of court after hearing this story, but I want to continue on. We're in the executive branch of government. Excuse me, we're in the federal government. We're on the level now of, yes, we're in the executive branch. So on today's position, we're going to talk about cabinet members. Okay, cabinet members, secretaries of departments. For example, in the federal government level, you have secretaries like Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth. He is a former Fox News personality, which he's not the only one. There's tons of Fox News personalities that are members. Hold up there. Sorry about that. There are tons of former Fox News personalities and faces that have positions in the White House. Hence why we're probably in this predicament that we are right now. You you have the position of cabinet members, head of major federal departments, including defense, state, and education. They advise the president and oversee national policies and programs. So, as I mentioned, Pete Hegseth, who is the Secretary of Defense, which is now called the Secretary of War, Department of War. All right. You have Sean Duffy, who is the Secretary of Transportation. He's also a former Fox News personality. You have Tulsi Gabbard, who is the Director of National Intelligence. All right. And the list goes on and on, just to kind of bring some examples of secretaries of this and X, Y, and Z. So yeah, you have or Secretary of State. You have the Secretary of State. And so that is the role of a cabinet member. There's tons of cabinet members in the White House. And yeah, all I can say is you see this circumstances is now. You got what? RFK, Health and Human Services. You got Pete Hegseth. You have who else is up there? I'm looking at. I have the list right in front of me. I'm trying to like not focus. You have Kimberly Guilfoyle, who's the current ambassador to Greece. So interesting. Tom Homan was a former Fox contributor who's now the border czar. Leo Terrell, who has been a voice on Fox since 2021. He currently holds a position as senior counsel to the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. Okay, what have you seen that gives all civil rights from this administration? I'll wait. Yeah, nothing. That's what I thought. So Leo got him a easy position there. All right, my friends. Look, let's go ahead and we're gonna head to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to.
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Goldverse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GOATverse TV.
GOATverse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
Let me tell you something most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. As I mentioned earlier, we got a lot of stuff to discuss here. First and foremost, I want to get out the way. Let's talk about Megyn Kelly. All right. So Megyn Kelly has she's always been an interesting character to me. She's always been an interesting person because she has, don't get me wrong, she's had a successful career as a, it's hard to really call folks journalists. I'm no journalist myself, so who am I to judge, right? But she's became a prominent voice in the world of politics, right? Specifically in conservative media. She is an independent, registered independent. She leans way more right. Okay. She has publicly endorsed Donald Trump's a huge supporter of the right. You can even say she's a huge supporter of MAGA. She has been having these viral moments, and I guess it's working because hell, we're talking about it, right? But she recently was talking on her show and was sharing her thoughts in regards to this whole Epstein case and the list, that the files. This is a big deal happening right now in Washington. And here, let me just go ahead and play you the clip here. So what do you think about what she has to say?
For Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything, not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed. And that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn. Now they call it child sexual abuse material on his computer that for the first time I thought, oh no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah. So I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview.
Okay, let me stop her there because it's just giving me the creeps. Yeah, it's like it's really just, yeah, it's a lot. So I brought up this article because of obviously folks have been responding to what she had to say, and I recently came across this article from the rap.com. Melissa Gilbert, Little House on the Prairie star Melissa Gilbert, the former Screen Actors Guild president, shared a photo Saturday of herself at at age 15 and wrote, "So I debated posting this, but I feel compelled to share. After seeing many women's posts with the hashtag I was 15, hashtag I'm 15, hashtag I was a child, I decided to Google search myself at the age and see what came up. And this is she pulls up the photo, and you can look on her social media, Melissa Gilbert official. And now at this age, at this time, I'm actually nauseated. The reason why she's nauseated, y'all, is because 15, 18, you're still a child, okay? Hell, it creeps me out when I be seeing these old pervs messing around with 19-year-olds or 21-year-olds. It creeps me out. I'm sorry, but like not putting this individual in the same position as, or in the same state as Epstein, who words cannot describe how disgusting and just horrific that was, right? And I hope and I'm praying justice is served for those victims. But where you see someone in the relationship of, say, like oh Lord, well, you just see these folks that are like in their 70s and they have girlfriends that are 21, 27. It's creepy. It's disgusting, in my opinion. I'll be blunt. It's creepy. So now we're hearing Megyn Kelly kind of like, well, I mean, what I've heard. And here's my thing. Y'all know when y'all have that friend or just somebody comes up to you, and not comes up to you, but you're in a conversation and someone will share to you some like, hey, look, this is what I heard. This is what it says. Do you ever listen and just one person tells you one thing, you automatically just listen, say, oh, they're telling the truth. I believe you. No. All right. I tell folks all the time because I speak with a lot of people. I talk with a lot of people. And they know, even my close circle of friends know, I'm a skeptic. You tell me something, I might give you 50% and say, okay, 50% is true, but the 50%, best believe I'm going to look at it myself. And if it looks more that is truthful, then I'll say, okay, you got some accuracy going there. But if it's more on the lines of you out of your mind, I'm not going to be, it's not true. So I'm continue to quote Melissa Gilbert here. She says, the girl on vacation in Hawaii with her family is the same girl who was expected to fall in love with and kiss a man on film who was several years older than she was. Through the lens of today, this is shocking. I have no words other than to say I was a child. I was 15, and I was the good news. Thank God, my mom, and another fellow Little House on the Prairie star, director and producer, and so many others were there to make sure I was safe. Can you imagine if I hadn't had them at all? I'm so fortunate. Many other young women aren't. And she says, Megyn Kelly, you need to be careful with your words. She eventually concluded that. She shared a photo of herself with Dean Butler, who starred on the series as her character's eventual husband. When the plot line began, Butler was 23 years old, and again, this girl was 15. And I don't need to recall, but I'll remind you all with the video that y'all just listened to on the Megyn Kelly show. The host claimed that Epstein liked 15-year-old girls, and I realize that this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this, but see, when you say stuff like that to me, I'm like, I'm just giving you facts. Oh, now it's facts. Now this is facts that he wasn't into like 8-year-olds. I don't get it with these freaking conservatives or these folks on the right, especially in conservative media. Let me rephrase that. Not saying all conservatives, but I'm saying for those folks in conservative media, that there's a number of them that is kind of they're stuck in a corner with this, right? Because see, this whole thing is making their fearless leader look bad. All right, you got even Republican colleagues that's saying, "Oh gosh, this is not good." I mean, seriously, like to the point where Marjorie Taylor Greene is changing her way. Like it's just it's weird. It's weird. Matter of fact, I think I have another soundbite I want to play with you all. I want to air it for you. So this is Republican Representative Massey I believe Massey is out of Kentucky. And here's what he had to say on CNN. He was alongside Congressman Ro Khanna out of California. Let me see if I can find that clip for you all. Hold tight.
I vote with my party 91% of the time, and which means I have agreed with the president 91% of the time. But when they're protecting pedophiles, when they are blowing our budget, when they are starting wars overseas, I'm sorry, I can't go along with that. And back home, people agree with me. They understand, even the most ardent Trump supporters understand sometimes he gets bad advice, sometimes he gives bad advice, and we wouldn't model our lives after him, his personal life. And they're okay with that. Well, I vote with my party 91%.
I mean, he has been one of the most vocal folks on the right that has been saying, hold on, this is just not right. I mean, so many folks are continuing to call out Megyn Kelly. Actress Christina Ricci lashes out at Megyn Kelly, in her mind downplaying the Epstein crimes. I mean, the list goes on and on for a lot of folks. I mean, and now all of a sudden, now they're Megyn's criticizing folks in Trump's own cabinet. It's like what's going on here? There's a split in MAGA, right? There's folks in MAGA that is going after each other because everybody wants to be the favorite child. Everybody wants to be the number one. And I've said it time and time again, you keep being competitors and not team players. Well, you keep being competitors, you're not going to win. You're not going to win anything. It's going to just fall right in front of your eyes. And see, now you're starting to see other folks that are saying, look, we got to eventually work together. We got to find some common ground. We got to do something. This is just not gonna help. This is not gonna help. Me personally, for what she just said there, how does SiriusXM think about that? Because they're like, okay, you have this huge deal already signing, already signed the paperwork to my knowledge. She's about to have her own channel filled with so much extended content. Now we're gonna begin more of that content spread into the atmosphere. Yeah. Yep, you are. Yes, you are. I mean, all I can say is, y'all gotta keep it in prayer. You got to keep it in prayer. Got to keep it in prayer. Now, let me go ahead and let me digress from this story here, because I'm done speaking about Megyn Kelly, but let's go ahead and talk about our friend over in Georgia, Congresswoman Majorie Taylor Greene. I mean, Marjorie she has truly just been I don't know, she's just been catching my attention lately. Usually she's a one individual, and I'm a person that I watch all news. I watch them all. The ones that I can't stand, the ones that I disagree with, that I don't agree with, the ones that I agree with, I watch it all, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene is somebody that I truly choose to not watch. I truly choose to not watch, because there's anything positive that comes out of her mouth. Her tone, her body language, everything is just toxic, in my opinion. Remember, she helped not grow the career, because her career was already thriving. I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. She helped change the way the world looks at Jasmine Crockett, because Jasmine Crockett was an individual that was never scared. She never backed down, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene is the same individual that literally chased down David Hogue, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, a year after he was a victim during the Parkland shootings. Literally chased him down, a victim who was blessed to be alive from a horrific shooting that happened in his high school, because he decided to speak up and share the importance of, gun reform, and saying, hey, look, something has to be done here. We're continuing to have these school like what we could, because he spoke against her beliefs. She's going to head into Marjorie has always been that person. And me personally, I don't care if she's now found Jesus. Okay. I will never be a fan. I can't. It kills me to say it. Okay. Let me go ahead and share you this clip. She was recently on CNN with talking with Dana Bash, and here's listen to this here.
So, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part in the toxic politics. It's very bad for our country. And it's been something I've thought about a lot, especially since Charlie Kirk was assassinated, is that I'm only responsible for myself and my own words and actions. And I am committed, and I've been working on this a lot lately, to put down the knives in politics. I really just want to see people be kind to one another. And we need to figure out a new path forward that is focused on the American people, because as Americans, no matter what side of the aisle we're on, we have far more in common than we have differences. Yeah. And we need to be able to respect each other with our disagreements.
So just to put a button on this, you regret the things that you have said and posted in the past, the Facebook post that was taken down of you in 2020 holding a gun alongside the squad, encouraging people to go on the offense against the socialists, liking a tweet of somebody calling for the execution of Nancy Pelosi and former President Obama. Yep. Just examples.
Well, Dana, as you know, and many people know, I addressed that back in 2021. And of course, I never want to cause any harm or anything bad for anyone. So that was addressed back then. And okay. I very much stand by my words I said then, and I stand by my words today.
Congresswoman, you posted on X that President Trump is, with his comments, fueling a, quote, hotbed of threats against you. Obviously, any threat.
So, it's not looking so hot in MAGA land for Majorie Taylor Greene and her then former lead. I mean, I guess I don't know if you call it former leader, feels it. I don't know. But this is the same lady who ran her mouth during State of the Unions. You hear the list that Dana Bash, because Dana Bash really could have cooked her. She really could have went after her a little hard with just some of these. She's trying to be cordial here because, CNN is trying to be a little more on the center left perspective, where if she was on MSNBC, or what's it called, MS Now, there would have been a whole different list of like, hold up, you said this, you said that, you said that, you said this, you said this, you said that. And I'm pulling up two articles here. I don't know which one I'm going to read, but I'm just kind of giving you some headlines here. So I got one of the BBC, Majorie Taylor Greene doubles down on Epstein files amid fallout with Donald Trump. Then another one from NPR says Majorie Taylor Greene says Trump policies are not, let me repeat that, Trump policies are not America first in the fight over MAGA. Now, let me read you this NPR one first. Again, once one of the strongest supporters in Congress of Trump called his foreign policies not America first, not America first positions, and said his recent attacks against her put her life in danger. Her words said, put my life in danger. They had traded bars in the previous days over the future of America, Make America Great Again movement, raising new questions about the president's firm grip on the Republican Party. Trump never had a grip on the Republican Party. Let me just break it down for you. Yes, he's the president. A lot of folks thrive to be, have his endorsement and this and any other, but I wouldn't say he has the grip, because if he had the grip, then so many folks that tried to be Trump repeaters never won elections. How many stronghold MAGA individuals won their races? I mean, on a local, state, federal, like who tried to repeat the same strategy that Donald Trump did and come out victorious? Zero. You had some one-hit wonders. You had Carthorne out of Carolina. You had Gates. You had the gentleman that tried to run for governor in North Carolina, Mark Robinson. You even had, and it's funny because I feel like the brothers got it hit worse the hardest, because look at Vernon Jones out of Georgia. Come on now, that man really thought, hey, he was at the time he was the only Democrat that supported Donald Trump during the RNC when it was him against Joe Biden. Excuse me, and then Vernon Jones leads the Democratic Party, runs as the Republican, runs as a strong, hard MAGA candidate for multiple positions, yet he is still not elected to anything. Shocker. Trump withdrew his endorsement of the Georgia lawmaker, calling her wacky, and claiming Greene's recent criticism of him was all about his refusal to support her future political ambitions. Now, my question is, and I've said this earlier, I think Majorie Taylor Greene is trying to run for higher office. I truly believe that, because this whole press tour that she's been doing cannot just be her saying, hey, look, I want to talk about the Epstein files. I want to talk more criticizing I want to continue to criticize the right and our party and our House Speaker. There's more to it. I don't know if she's running for governor. I don't know if she's thinking about running for president. I don't know if she's running for Senate. She's running for higher office. I'm telling you, I feel it in my spirit. I feel in my spirit that she is. I sure do. Because she's trying to talk more. She's trying to talk more calmly now. When people start talking like that, they running for something. All right. They're running for something. Now, Trump's already said, look, he's going to endorse a different candidate during the primary season for Congress. He already said it. He tired of her. She wacky. It's his words. She's a wacky individual, very wacky. She's wacky, and she's upset because I'm not going to support her during the upcoming elections. All right. Midterms, we got to win. All right. And in order to win, I got to fire some people in Marjorie. Marjorie, you're fired. You're fired. All right. And now Marjorie's not happy about that. Marjorie. She is not happy about that whatsoever. Trump called her a traitor on social media, because that's where he does the most trash talking, is when he goes thumb happy on his Truth Social. Let's see here. Greene says he called me a traitor, and that's so extremely wrong. And those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger. I mean, she's not lying. She is not lying whatsoever. Says here, when asked about her previous attacks against political opponents, such as in 2020 when she posted an image. Well, Dana Bash already shared that. Greene also criticized Trump's recent defense of the H-1B visa program, which lets companies sponsor foreign-born workers for skilled labor. Trump said in a recent Fox News interview, the U.S. has to bring this talent, and he said the country doesn't have enough of it. Those are not America First policies. That's what Greene said. She said they're not America First policies. And she's continued to voice her displeasure of his frequent foreign trips. He's been doing, why didn't you criticize that during the first term? Because he was doing that during the first term. He's doing it now more than ever, receiving gifts, the norm. Let's not talk about how much money this man is now worth. Okay, we're criticizing folks in Congress and Senate on how much they're making, but how about the dude that's sitting in the Oval Office? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how much money his family's making, huh? Come on, we gotta call balls and strikes here. Gotta call balls and strikes. Continuing to really travel all over the world doesn't help Americans back at home. I said this to him, and I will say it out loud. I would love to see Air Force One be parked and stay home. I bet, but guess what, Marjorie? We all can't get what we want. We all can't get what we want. This new phase that she is pushing is still like, because my thing is, how does Marjorie's constituents feel about her new stances? Because for her to be reelected, I think this might be her second term. I could be wrong, but Georgia's red, very red. Her district is probably redder than red. Okay, but they're most likely very pro Trump too. Now that's what kind of leans me to this next topic I want to share with you all is what's next for both parties. What's next for both parties? Because as we continue to speak on the, we're still having post off year elections, right? We're continuing to talk more about those recent elections that we saw happening in Virginia, New York City, New Jersey. We are witnessing a shift. We're witnessing a shift in both parties, right? You have a divide between progressives and moderates. You have a divide between MAGA and moderates. You have a divide between the establishment and the new faces, the new voices on both sides. I shared with you all not too long ago a congresswoman out of PA that said, look, those traditional tactics, that traditional strategy, those those older voices that we've had operating and leading the party for the longest, it ain't working no more, and there has to be an adjustment. There needs to be a change. Extremism will never work. in society. It won't. It will continue to divide. It will continue to be a hindrance on in this nation. It will continue to be a huge, just a stain that you will never get out if you continue to expose and uplift the extremists of politics on both sides. But you're seeing now a divide happening in MAGA. What? Never thought I'd see the day. I've seen it too many times on the left. Come on, we've seen this guy, but see, we're witnessing now so many of those established, those old school Dems. They're saying, "Hey, I gotta retire. I gotta look." Hey, look, you saw how where Nancy Pelosi, she announced she's retiring. Finally, thank you for your service, ma'am. But you should have been gone. Should have been gone, right? There's countless of others that, in my opinion, should been on their way many moons ago. They should have been retired from office and bring in some new voices, because see, the opportunity I had with recently had a sit down interview with the newly elected lieutenant governor in Virginia, Gonzala Hashmi, which I was thrilled to have her on. She had shared that she has seen so many young people that are getting involved and very passionate, and so, and I've seen that firsthand, especially during election season. You see a lot of young people, grassroots organizations, those working in campaigns. You're around them. I've seen them on the right. I've seen them on the left. But yet I don't see them running for office, or I don't see them in those positions where it's like, hey, look, I hear your passion. Why aren't you in that seat rather than, Gramps or grandma in the seat? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense, in my opinion. Let me see here. I will continue to. We're going to continue to talk more about these the Epstein files, because that's going to be a big. I mean, it's already currently a big, huge deal happening across our news feed. But I also want to talk more about this new shift that some of those very influential figures that are rebranding, and especially in the MAGA right, like Majorie Taylor Greene. Hell, we've seen the rebrand of Candace Owens. You see the divide and the back and forth between far right conservative talker Nick Fuentes and conservative talker Ben Shapiro. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot happening. It is. And as I mentioned, you have it happening on both sides. That's why, for me, little me right here in the middle, I'm just eating my popcorn, watching both sides. Like, is that what you're gonna do? Oh, that's what you're gonna do. All right, cool. Let's see how far that goes. But I will tell you this: folks are pissed. Folks are tired. Folks are tired of the whataboutisms. Folks are tired of the whole back and forth arguing, personal attacks. Like, to me, like, honestly, this whole beef between Trump and Majorie Greene is sickening. But y'all, this is where I've been saying time and time again. Me personally, Trump has never shown any form, in my personal opinion, as leadership. He has never. Give me about one example. I make it a little easy. Give me two examples he's ever shown of being a true leader. Because when one thing I can think of right now is when we all heard about the assassination of conservative talk show host, or conservative activist Charlie Kirk. It was an extremely sad moment in our history, in our American history. It was sad. It was extremely sad. Still to this day, I didn't agree with anything, most of the things that he had said, but it was extremely sad that that man had to lose his life in the way he lost his life. It's horrific. Words can't describe it. Now, during a time where that happens, you should have a leader that says there is no place for political violence and leave it at that. But instead, he says that and adds on, it's the radical left that's the cause of this. And that right there, my friends, is not a leader. That right there is a gaslighter. Okay? That right there is I can't say it on air, but that's a crap starter. All right? And I'm kind of going off the rails here because when I was at an event and I said this, I said I had the opportunity to witness one of our most classiest presidents ever, right? Regardless of how you feel, because there were moments I didn't always agree with Obama. There was, moments there was moments I did agree with them. Like, again, that's what happens with elected officials. You don't always agree with their policies or their strategies or whatnot. But what I've always will give him credit was that he did it he had a certain class. And so many folks, they hate that because this black man, all right, or this man of color, because so many folks say, is he all the way black because his mom is white? Hey, he's not. Trust me, I've heard it from black people. Okay, this individual, Harvard grad, most swagged out, most intelligent individual, had always kept his composure, and he did it with class. And we haven't had that in a long time. We haven't had it with the Trump administration. We ain't had it in the Biden administration. We are in desperate times where folks are losing their health care. Folks are losing their SNAP benefits. People can't afford to be a homeowner. I just read an article not too long ago. The median age now for home ownership, for first-time homeowners, is 40 years old. 40 years old, y'all. First-time home buyers. Folks are losing their health care. Senior citizens are feeling overlooked, and they're losing their health care. All right? We just witnessed a record long government shutdown. 40 days, maybe a little over 40 days, where folks were pretty much forced to go to work for nothing. There wasn't a guarantee that they might receive back pay. Let me tell you something, y'all. We as a society, we have to ignore the talking points. We need to stop listening to what the headlines say and read the fine print, read the policy. Don't just read one news source. Read multiple. Do your research. And what I mean by do your research is look back, look these individuals, look your local elected officials, look up your current congressional elected officials, look at your current folks in state government. Read fine prints on their policies, what they brought to the table, what they were pushing for. Read it, and then if there's or pick an issue that really matters to you. Pick an issue that matters to you, and then read the track record. Read the track record, because I guarantee you, there's folks. Let me tell you something. In my home area here on the East Coast, we have elected officials that all they have to say is "How you doing?" and people vote for them. And it's sad because it shows that folks are not even paying attention on their policies. I don't know. I can't tell you time and time again how many talking points I've have listened to, and I'm just like, bruh, like it to me, it's a disgrace, and it's very disrespectful to voters, because to me, you're telling me that, okay, all you have to do is say X, Y, and Z, and people are gonna be happy and be like, yes, and then you got my vote, and that's all they care about. Because here's the thing. Once you vote an individual in, you can't really vote them out. You can only vote them out by when it comes to the next election. But depending on the position, they might be serving a 2-year term. They might be serving a 4-year term. They might be serving a 6-year term. Once they're in, they're in. And that's what they like. But it's up to us, the people, to keep the foot on the gas. All right? We gotta keep that momentum. We cannot just forget about them during election cycle. No, you gonna hit them up tomorrow morning, or excuse me, the following morning. You gonna hit them up the day after that. Oh, and then when it comes to town hall, oh, that's Christmas, because now you get to see them in person. Now you get to see them in person. So again, my friends, elections has consequences, but after these recent off-year elections, I think it showed that folks on both sides of the aisle, they're sick and tired. Now we got midterms happening in 2026. Be ready. That's all I can say is be ready. You cannot try to avoid. You cannot try and run away. Look, I understand the countless text messages and phone calls and smear campaigns on commercials. It's annoying. But at the end of the day, it is a part of the cycle here in America, here in this world. Politics is everywhere. You can't run away from it. You can't run away. It's embedded in everything. I'm talking to those that can't stand politics. Politics is not a likable thing. All right. Please stay informed is what I'm saying. Please stay informed and keep your elected officials accountable. I don't care if they're your friends. I don't care if they're nice. Keep them accountable. Keep them accountable. I know a lot of nice people. They always nice during election season. But best believe if they quiet, I'm not gonna be happy about that come the next primary or the next elections. My friends, as always, thank you for sticking with us here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thank you for staying with us for another great conversation. Be sure to tune in weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms. Peace and blessings. Stay informed. Stay safe out there. God bless us. Talk to us soon for another great combo.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.